and welcome back to our channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're going to go over everything that we watched in the month of January. Yep. New releases. We're going to talk about new release films. We watched some other stuff that was a little older, but we'll try to keep it to newer releases. But yeah, just a very casual video. Going through our letterbox, telling you all our scores for each movie that we watch, and then we'll cover a little bit of TV in there. But before we get started, we want to ask that if you aren't yet a subscriber of Married with Media, hit the subscribe button. Also, like the video, and feel free to comment down below all the movies you watched in January. What were your thoughts on them? What are your thoughts on our thoughts on them? And yeah, let's get into it. Where are we going to start here?
All right,
I think we're just starting with you.
Okay. Yep. So the first, I got to see this movie in the theater. I took our kids. Ken was at work, but it was Sing 2.
Sing 2. You liked this one.
I really did. I don't know. I can be a sucker for the animated films, but I enjoyed the first Sing. And this one was no exception. I enjoyed it as well, and I gave it a 4.5 stars.
Damn, it must have been good. So you say it was better than the first one?
I mean,
I liked the first one, but it kind of felt like a big music video because they just kept like redoing like popular songs.
Yeah, and I mean they do it in this one too, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I like it more than the first one. But anyway, I thought it was a lot of fun, super cute, and it was just one of those like feel-good ones. So.
It's a high score.
Yep.
So the next one we can talk about together, but we watched Being the Ricardos.
Being the Ricardos,
with Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem.
Yeah, I was interested in this one because growing up, I was a fan of I Love Lucy. Yep. I used to watch that at my grandma's, and so it was a little nostalgic. And this movie was just... Nah.
There's a lot of dialogue, and I figured out why when I found out who made it. It was directed by Aaron Sorkin, who's a big... he also directed The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Okay.
He's done a lot of other things that I can't think of off the top of my head, but he's a director. He's written a lot of stuff. He used to write for The West Wing, so real heavy with the dialogue. I don't know. I know.
You know, it was weird because I Love Lucy was such a funny show, and this is not funny. It's definitely about like the serious side of it and like how they were behind the scenes, and so you know, I guess it was just.
And you and me both didn't know they were married.
In real life,
I didn't know they were married.
I don't think I knew that. Yeah, but you know, I didn't hate it, but it was definitely lacking that like I Love Lucy. Feel that I was wanting. So I gave that one a 2.5 star.
Yeah, I gave it a 2.5 as well. And I think my main thing with it was Nicole Kidman. I didn't really like. I've seen some people praising her and saying that she did a good job.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I know you said that you didn't think she looked like her at all.
I didn't think she looked like her. I didn't think she sounded like her.
Yeah, I could see how she looked like her, but like the way that she was, you know, acting like her, I just like couldn't get on board with it.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same. So yeah, that was a 2.5. And then we watched, I think we watched both of these in the same day. But Being the Ricardos is on Amazon Prime for all of you that don't know. It's a exclusive. But then we watched The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Yes.
This is another biopic with our boy Andrew Garfield. He's been killing it lately. And then
what's
you got
her name?
Jessica Chastain.
So let me just say, I wish that we could have done like a separate review for this movie because. For whatever reason, like I really liked this movie. Like it had a lot going on. But Jessica, I mean, she freaking killed it. Like I mean, she was fantastic in this. So was Andrew. I mean, they were both just. I was just so enthralled in this movie, and I just really enjoyed it. I actually gave it a 4.5 stars.
Oh, you went really high with that one.
Yeah.
I gave it a 3.5.
Oh,
I had some story problems with it. Okay. I don't know. Some of the stuff wasn't all that interesting to me. I don't know. I liked Andrew Garfield in it, but I didn't like him nearly as much as I like Jessica Chastain. Yeah. I think that she should honestly win Best Actress of everything I've seen. I think the only one that comes close is another movie that we're going to talk about later on.
Yeah.
But I thought she was fantastic and easily the strongest part about this movie.
I mean, she was totally enthralled in this character.
Yeah, I don't know. There was just something about I was on board for like the first hour, but then the second I had some problems with just the way they were portraying some things. Again, this is a true life story.
I feel like those. What did you call them? Like bio?
And it starts off kind of weird because it's like, are they making fun of these people? Like, is it because it was kind of comedic? You could kind of take it that way, but then they got real serious real quick.
But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, this was literally how these people acted. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah,
so I gave it a 3. Again, I really liked it, and I think we watched this on HBO Max. So I think it's on HBO right now. But yeah, what's our next movie we watched?
So on mine, I've got Antlers.
Antlers, yeah. About the Blu-ray of this. I feel like I've talked about it a few times at this point, so I'll let you take the lead on that.
Yeah. So I thought that this was, a pretty good little. I don't know what would you call it? Is it a horror?
Horror kind of monster movie.
Yeah,
I'd say.
It was definitely a little dark. As far as I feel like what they were trying to talk about with the movie. So it was a little, depressing, I guess. But I don't know. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was pretty good, and I was pretty, I didn't really get bored with it. I enjoyed a lot of the cast. What is the guy's name? He was a cop.
He's been in Jesse Plemons.
Yeah,
he's been popping up in everything.
He has been popping up in everything, and we both really enjoy him. And so,
what did we just watch?
Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise. Yeah, he was in Jungle Cruise, Antlers, and then we watched Power of the Dog December, which we didn't get to really talk about, but he's in everything now.
So for Antlers, like I said, I thought it was a fun little flick, and I gave it 3.5 stars.
Yeah, 3.5. I think the main thing I keep saying about it is it felt like it was trying to be a little deeper than it actually was.
Yeah.
By the time we got to the end, I didn't think they quite pulled it off, but it's a good little horror flick.
Yeah, it was still good.
I like the effect, the monster effects and stuff. But let's see, what did we watch after this?
So I've got Last Night in Soho, which I know that you did.
I don't want to talk about this one anymore.
Yeah, you did. You did a separate review for it. Yeah. But guys, if you watched Ken's review, I'm here to back him up because this movie was not for me either. Yeah. And, we definitely don't always agree on everything.
Be prepared to be called a simpleton. Well, you only like simple movies because you don't like Last Night's Soho.
That's okay.
You only like Transformers now. That's it.
Right. I don't know. I didn't hate it. I did give it 3 stars. Which I feel like is being a little generous.
I gave it 3 as well because it's got good style. It's got good cinematography. It's well directed. But
yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't into it. I wasn't, we finished it and
yeah. I think your favorite part was the ending, right?
Yeah, I know a lot of people. I think I heard you say that the ending, or maybe you said it, that the ending took away from it for you, or you thought it was kind of silly.
It honestly just didn't do anything for me at all. I just think I didn't care all the way through the movie, and I didn't care when they gave me the ending.
Yeah, I was kind of guessing and predicting the ending, so I ended up being kind of right about it. But I don't know. I kind of liked the ending. I kind of dug that, but I don't know. Overall,
I think it was just the Game of Thrones character, Lady Olenna, which I can't remember the actress' name. But as soon as you saw her, you were like,
I know her.
I know she's got to have some important part to play. She can't just be the housekeeper.
She played this badass queen, right? She was a queen.
She was fantastic.
Yeah, she was fantastic in Game of Thrones. And so anyway, characters. I do think had someone else played her, I probably wouldn't have liked the movie as much. But she kind of saved it for me. So anyway, 3 stars. So is that what you gave it to, or?
I gave it 3 stars, but to be honest, I get more and more bitter about this movie by the day. I feel like just because of that review. So I'd probably give it a 2 right now.
Right.
Hopefully I'll watch it later, and it's one of those movies that might grow on me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I own it. So.
Okay, so up next, I've got Spencer.
Spencer,
yeah. So I was a little, what's the word? Hesitant. What's the word?
A little skeptical of Kristen Stewart.
Thank you. I was a little skeptical with her because I don't love her. She is definitely one of those actresses that kind of act the same. Yeah. And everything that she's in. And it's really hard to get past her acting in Twilight. I mean, there's a guy who literally makes fun of her on his Instagram. There's just so much material for making fun of how she acts in Twilight. So anyway, it's kind of hard for me to get past that. But
Yeah, she's been kind of typecast since Twilight, I think. It's like the emo teenager type character.
But I gotta say, I feel like she did pretty good. She did pretty good. Now, I don't necessarily think that she deserves all the praise that she's been getting as far as like...
That's where we might differ.
Saying, you know, that she should get like an Oscar for this and all that kind of stuff. There were definitely some parts in the film where it was kind of goofy looking, like, you know, she would be kind of acting on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, my whole thing is I don't think I've ever heard an interview with Princess Diana, so I don't really have a barometer for like how she acted.
I mean, I know we're not like getting into a full review of this movie, but I gotta say this movie kind of like messed me up a little bit with like who Princess Diana might have been as a person. It was definitely depressing and like one of those kind of like, I mean, she had some like things going on and apparently a lot of them were like true. And so definitely one of those like darker movies again. We need to watch some more uplifting stuff, you know, because like this.
There's a lot of darkness in January.
Yeah, like let's bring some light. But anyway, what did I give this? I think I gave it 3 stars. What did you give it?
I gave it 3.5.
Okay.
I liked how they, again, like you said, they played into all these dark themes about Princess Diana and just her kind of like she was kind of bipolar and bulimic and all this stuff. But
I mean, like she was definitely struggling with like some like anxiety, depression, like just the pressures of. Yeah.
I liked how they portrayed her as like a mother because that was the one like human aspect that you could really latch on to with her character. I thought they did that really well. But this is it's a strange movie. It took place over like 2 days or something.
Yeah, and it was like heavily okay, so now that I think about it, it kind of makes sense that it was like that they incorporated like the chef and stuff. Yeah. The food and things because like we mentioned, she struggles with bulimia. Yeah. So anyway, 3 stars for that.
But I thought Kristen Stewart was amazing in the movie. Okay. But again, I don't know how Princess Diana acts. Right. I don't know if she was like there, but from everything I've seen of Kristen Stewart, I was just like, I didn't know she could go to those places. So I wouldn't put her up there with Jessica Chastain, but I'd put her like right on her heels behind her.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, you got anything or you want me to keep going?
You keep going.
Okay, so we might be skipping some, but so as a family, we watched the new Hotel Transylvania movie, Transylvania. Yeah. And, you know, we were just trying to find something that we could all watch together.
Also on Amazon Prime. They dumped it on Amazon Prime.
Right. And we were a little disappointed that Adam Sandler wasn't back for this one, but the guy that plays him, you know, sounds just like him. But
Adam Sandler didn't have the time amidst all the shitty comedies he's making now.
Yeah,
Netflix comedies.
I thought it was a fun, feel-good little family movie. You know, I'm like I said earlier, I'm just a sucker for those like animated movies that try to, you know, dig in on that like when life gets hard, don't give up. You know, when they're like trying to teach kids like life lessons or whatever.
Yeah. It's a nice story. A nice message.
I just always get like super emotional and I'm just like, oh, that's nice. And I always like love the fun music and stuff. And so anyway, I thought it was a cute little movie. I wasn't like bored out of my mind or anything. And so I gave it 3.5 stars.
I gave it 2.5. I've never been a big fan of this franchise. Like none of them I've really liked. I remember we went to the theater to see the third one. Yeah. I would say I feel like I like this one better than the third one.
Yeah, I think I did too.
But you know, again, never been a big fan of this. So yeah, 2.5 for me.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
All right. Well, we mentioned it earlier, but we did also finally watch Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise.
And I mean, I gave it 3 stars. You know, one of those, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I thought it was kind of meh. I feel like, I don't know. I guess it was like to be expected. I guess it was what I was expecting.
I gotta be honest. I was expecting this to turn into like a full-on prequel to Moana. At the end of it, like a live-action prequel, because it felt like Moana. They like had a green gem that they were like trying to put into stuff, and it was like The Rock. And
I don't think it was green. I think it was pink.
It was pink. Okay.
Yeah, well, but anyway.
It could have been another side of the Moana universe, but...
Yeah, like, you know, we had...
and The Rock was like a god, too.
Yeah, you have, like, Emily Blunt and The Rock and I don't know. They were trying to play them as love interest, and I just couldn't get on board with the chemistry with them. Like, yeah, like friends. Like, I could get the friend chemistry, but a romantic chemistry I didn't get.
I don't feel like I could ever buy Rock in a romantic relationship with anybody. He just hasn't really done a lot of that.
True, yeah.
So it's kind of...
But, you know, I thought it was okay. We did break it up over 2 nights, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because it is a longer movie. But yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was nothing to write home to Mom about.
Yeah, it's very basic. So, I mean, The Rock, I mean, Emily Blunt, you kind of expect a little bit better.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I didn't think they had any chemistry at all. Like, I couldn't get into them as characters or even their interactions with each other. So I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. So.
Gotcha.
We can close it out with Censor, I guess.
Well,
is that the last one?
We got 2 more, but we already did a review about one. But yeah, Censor, you had recommended this one to us. And
I would say recommend. I hadn't seen it, but yeah, I put it on our radar.
Yeah, you recommended that we watch it.
Yeah, I did.
Without knowing much about it. But this movie, it was definitely like different and unique, I feel like. Like it just had this like different feel to it, different style. I don't know.
Well, it's set in the 80s, and it covers the video nasties era of horror, which is, you know, there was a lot of ratings controversy in the 80s.
Yeah.
With people trying to censor, you know, people's art.
Yeah, it's like it's a very interesting, you know, topic because you know, we've been dealing with it in today's world where they're wanting to pull things from movies because they're not
too
appropriate
graphic,
anymore.
too violent.
So yeah, these are like
in today's case, it's too politically incorrect. Nobody cares about how violent anything is.
Right. But in this, it's mostly just like violence. Like,
she's an editor, and her job is to censor these movies to where they'll pass the ratings board.
Right.
So.
And so then it just like takes you on this whole other wild ride, and it was different. Another one of those like dark and down movies. Yeah. He's killing me. He's bringing me down into the darkness. But this is why I am not like strictly a horror fan, because I like my mental health can just like not handle all that darkness. But I don't know. It wasn't bad. I appreciated it for like its
visually. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like the visual. I gave this a 3 stars, and to be honest, I probably should have gave it like a 2.5 because I mean, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I didn't buy some kind. It's got all kinds of like special editions and stuff. I'm glad I didn't waste a lot of money on special edition. Like, it was okay, but it honestly felt like a straight to Walmart shelves DVD kind of horror movie. So nothing special. I
gave it 3 stars. Like I said, I felt like it was, you know, different, I guess in a good way. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then our last one is Scream.
Yep, Scream.
Which we already did a separate review for that.
Yeah, we did a separate car vlog and a whole hour-long stream.
You'll have to put it down in the description box.
Yeah, I can do that. And so if y'all want to know our thoughts, full thoughts, definitely go watch those. But, you know, I liked it. I gave it
we also
3.5.
3.5. Okay.
Yeah.
We also did a live stream where we ranked all the Screams.
Yep. We ranked all the Screams, talked about Scream in depth. So check all those out.
Yeah, but I gave it 3.5 stars as well. Is that what you said?
Yep. Yeah. Solid Scream sequel. Like, all the movies are good. I like all the movies, and this one wasn't any different. So
yeah, it was a lot of fun. But you'll have to see, you know, how I thought of it compared to all the other ones.
Yep. So we also watched a couple TV shows.
Yeah.
Archive 81 we watched and enjoyed, and we also have a review up on the channel, so I can link that down below as well. The Netflix original show. And then we watched You Season 3, which we didn't get a chance to talk about. So what were your thoughts? And this was one that came out, when did it come out? October of last year, so we were a little late to the party on this one.
I didn't feel like it was that late, but maybe it was.
I think it was October.
Yeah, it felt like it took us
that
forever
came
to
out,
get to
Succession came out, morning show all the same time, so we had to push some stuff to the side, and that was one of them.
Yeah, so You has definitely become one of those shows where I'm like I think it's just time to like
run its course.
Yeah, like call it a day.
Well, they already announced the 4th season.
Right,
so.
yeah, and I'm just not seeing it. I'm getting kind of burnt out on it. But I thought, this was a pretty fun season. I feel like it did take us a little bit to like get into it, but once it got going, I felt like I got pretty invested into it.
I don't feel like all the story directions they went in were necessarily ones that I wanted them to.
Yeah.
And there were some, like in particular, Joe's sad relationship that I know you didn't really enjoy either.
Right.
No, and I didn't. All. I guess I just wanted more of them like actually being a team and coming together. But again, you take out all the conflict and like who's there to oppose them, but if it's not each other.
Right. But yeah, without, spoiling anything, there is a pretty big thing that happens at the end of the season. Yeah. So you'll have to check it out if you're not caught up on that show. But, overall, it was pretty good.
I'd say in comparison to the other two, I like the 2nd season the best. Okay. And then I would say this one and then the 1st season.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty decent. But I think that was it. Was that all we watched?
I think so.
We're in the middle of Ozark right now. Actually, I think we have one episode left. So when we're done with that, we'll try to get a full review of that season up on the channel as well. So, but that was everything we watched in January. Appreciate everybody watching. Again, comment down below everything that you watched in the month of January. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and we'll see y'all later.
Bye, guys.